them.
Because if you kill their father, they're going to lose their mother as well.
Yes. So who would raise my children?
But you were the one being abused. You were the one receiving the licks.
Yes.
You were the one being spoken to harshly.
Yes. At the time, it was, you block it out. After a while, you just block out a lot of things. I think that's my name. I block out a lot of situations. I block out a lot of people.
Right.
Because it's normal. It becomes normal.
It becomes normal.
It becomes normal.
So what would be a prayer that you would suggest right now for that person who wakes up sometimes in the middle of the night with the thought of, I could kill this individual in their sleep for all of the hell, hurt, and pain that they're putting me through? What prayer would be sufficient for them that was sufficient for you to pray?
The prayer that would be sufficient to pray, and the prayer that I would pray, first of all, just God, help me once again, help me. And think about it. Think more of yourself. Think more of yourself than anything. And if you have children, think about the children. Don't think about what you've been through or what you're going through. Think about what can be. Because as I stressed earlier, there is hope. Think about where, if I leave, where I can be. Because you don't have to be in that situation. You don't have to, just don't give up. Don't give up. Because once you give up, you're never going to leave. Just don't give up. I didn't give up. I kept the faith. So I say to you, don't give up.
Amen. Listen, we know that we've had a lot of you calling in, and we thank you. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back. And when we come back, we're going to share with you what happens after you leave. We're going to talk about the building process and where she is now, because the woman that you see now is a world traveler. The woman you see now is a diva in her own right. I mean, there's just so much more. But after this break, we're going to take some of your calls, and we're going to pray with you and minister to you. So stick with us, and we'll be right back.
Any day now is what I kept telling myself on the last mile, on the road to somewhere. But along the way, I felt the wind and the rain, and to my surprise, blew my mind. So many nights I had to hold on for my life, I survived.
God bless you and welcome back again. My special guest is Sister Judith Smith. And just as Mary said, she is a survivor. You've heard the first portion of her story about how she was involved in a marriage that was laced with domestic violence and why she stayed in the marriage. But let's talk real briefly before we start taking phone calls about what happened after she left. What transformed in your life?
A lot transformed in my life. That's why I'm smiling. This has been the first time that I've really spoken about this situation.
Wow.
So this is a big step for me, and I thank God for the opportunity.
Yes.
A lot has taken place in my life, and trust me, it has not been easy.
Okay. What was difficult about it?
Difficult starting over, because you're really starting over.
Right.
You're starting over. Raising two boys alone. Mm-hmm. That was a big challenge for me.
Let's take this call real quick.
Okay, sure.
Oh, we lost the call. Call, if you could, call back for us, and we'll take your call in about 2 minutes. Raising two boys, starting over.
Starting over, making sure that.
Oh, okay. They go back in. You're on the air.
Hi, yes, this is Monique. I was a 17-year-old living in Henrico, and when I had a old apartment last year, I was stabbed by an ex-boyfriend, and I was stabbed about like 8 times, and I was saved, and I just prayed and prayed, and I thought I was going to die in the hospital until my mom saved me, and everybody just prayed around my bed, and it took me about, I don't know, to come out the coma, because it took me a long time to come out of it, and I pray to God that He woke me up and brought me out of it, and I was like 16.
Wow. Bless you, and thank you for calling and for sharing your story. And we're praying that God will continue to strengthen your life and continue to protect you for the future relationships that you get involved in, because, you know, domestic violence can change and become not just physical with the laying of hands, but it can be, as this young lady has shared with us, get to the point to where weapons are involved. And even with being saved, with praying, with having family to support you, domestic violence still can creep into your life. But with you made this transition. You have two boys that you're now raising. You're rebuilding your self-esteem, starting over.
Starting over, as I stated earlier, it wasn't easy, because you constantly, in the back of your mind, you're saying, can I do this? Can I make it? Can I really make it alone? Can I make it? However, you can. You can. This is where your faith really grows stronger.
Right.
My faith grew very, very strong during this period. And when I say it grew stronger, because my prayer life changed.
My Lord. What changed about your prayer life? Because many people think that the prayers that they pray they should be the same prayers, and that just because they're saying in Jesus' name that that's sufficient. But you're saying that something changed in your prayer life. What changed?
What really changed in my prayer life is I had a closer relationship with God. That's the number one. You have to have a relationship. I had a relationship, but I didn't have a relationship, if you can say.
It wasn't a close one.
It wasn't a close one. But because God brought me out, and He brought me out safe.
Yes.
My kids were fine.
You felt like you owed Him something.
I owed Him something. And I promised God that, God, you brought me out, and because you brought me out, I will be a vessel for you for the rest of my life. I would not be quiet about what has happened to me. That's why I'm here today.
My Lord.
When I say my faith changed, that's what I'm saying, meaning that my faith grew stronger. I knew God brought me out because He knew this day was coming for me to be right here.
Yes.
That's how come He brought me out. He had a greater work for me to do.
Yes. And my brother and sister, we're thinking right now, we're believing in our spirits and in our heart. We were talking about this at the break. We believe that there's somebody watching this broadcast right now, and you are literally at the door trying to get out of an abusive relationship, and you are hesitant simply because you are scared. Trust me when we say God has not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And all you have to do is trust in the Lord and step out on faith. I know you've had threats. I know you're worried about how you're going to make it. I know you're worried about your children. But we are believing God right now that if you make the step and you go where God commands you, that you will be safe.
Yes.
And you've had this safety net, your self-esteem. How did you regain your self-esteem? Because domestic violence tears down a person's self-esteem.
The self-esteem, and I'm going to get a little personal right now. The self-esteem came when I came in contact with Bishop Marcus D. Campbell Sr. You actually shaped me and molded me into the woman I am today.
My God.
And I thank you. You changed my life.
Wow.
Through your teaching,
Wow.
your awesome teaching, you instilled in me that you are not a battered and broken woman.
My God.
You are a woman of God. And you will survive.
My God.
So my self-esteem came when I became a member of your church. And you constantly,
Wow.
you and your wife, my first lady, constantly poured into me.
Wow.
Not knowing anything about me,
Wow.
but you constantly poured into me. And I thank you. And I say to you, you have to have a connection with people who are going in the same direction that you are going in. You have to have positive thoughts in your heart,
Speak, woman
in
of
your
God.
mind at all times.
Speak, woman of
There are
God.
some people you cannot take with you. There are some people that you may love dearly. It may be a family member,
Speak, woman of
but
God.
you can't take them with you because they're not going in the same direction you're going in. You can't go back. I don't even blink back because from this day on, I move forward. I move forward. And I'm saying to you, once you get out of the relationship, you will move forward. You have to be in the right relationship with people. And there are people out there that will help you.
Yes.
You just have to get connected with them.
Yes. There are a lot of resources that we want to share. The James House is a resource. Safe
Yes.
Harbor is a resource. There are so many resources that are out here for abused and battered individuals, not just women, but men and women alike, because men go through emotional abuse, they go through verbal abuse, and some men go through physical abuse. Of course, they don't want to say it because the joke is that if a man is being physically abused by his spouse, that he is less than a man. But the truth of the matter is that there are some men who love so hard that they wouldn't even think to raise a hand to the woman of their life. And because that woman knows that is a green card for her to throw things at him, to call him everything but a child of God, to attack him, to attack his character, to attack his masculinity. And because of these attacks,